So now what you're gonna want to do, you get this counter right here. You're gonna use the bird, you immediately get off the Chixia. If you have a constellations, like I said, or second thing, you're gonna shoot 30 bullets and then ulti. This monkey, oh my goodness. Alright, what is up boys, we're back at it again. So today we're gonna be doing a video or a guide on Chixia. He's like my favorite character. Still, she's really goddamn fun to play. And honestly, I think people are still sleeping on her, thinking she's like just an average character. So we're gonna do a quick guide on her. I say quick, let's get right into it. So Chixia is obviously a ranged character. She uses a gun and everything for damage, so she has her ups and downs. She's really good because you get range on her. I love the range. Zone very well, but the bad side is you can't counter, so that's a negative. You can't counter with this character. How does Chixia do damage? Now, all her damage, or most of her damage, is going to be coming from her Forte circuit and her Resonance Liberation. So, in her Forte circuit, when you shoot, you will be building up bullets with Chixia. Obviously, everybody knows this. If you have Chixia, you should understand. You can hold up to 60 bullets, but if you get this inherent skill, you'll get an extra 10 rounds, which is very important. I'll explain that later. So you want to use your resonance skill twice, and then you'll build up bullets that way. That's the quickest way to do it. You can also auto attack to get bullets, but use your skill twice and you get a shitload of bullets. You can get up to 70 once you get the second inherent skill, which you should get. Now, once you do that, what can you do? If you hold your resonance skill cast, you will enter the state where she's Daka Daka. Now, what Daka Daka does is she will just shoot a lot of thermobaric bullets, and they'll do fusion damage, and they do decent damage. That's going to be a lot of her damage. Now, once you shot 30 bullets, you can cancel Daka Daka by pressing X on your controller or your auto attack or whatever. You can cancel it that way, and you will get something called Boom Boom. Now, Boom Boom does a shitload of damage, as you can see right. I know they say Pow Pow here. I think this is supposed to be Boom Boom. I'm assuming it's a goddamn mistranslation again, but yeah, she does her Boom Boom. That Boom Boom does a shitload of damage. Now, another thing that's very good is, for just a second inherent skill right here, Boom Boom does another 50% extra damage for this, which is why you're going to want it as well, because you're going to be doing at least 2 Boom Booms in your damage rotation, so you'll get a lot of damage out of it. Now, for Resonance Liberation, this shit does a lot of damage. It does a lot. You can see the scaling right here. That shit is no goddamn joke. I've been hitting up to 50Ks with the last hit, but like 11 ticks of 3Ks before it. It does a lot of damage. I wouldn't sleep on it. That's going to be your second highest damaging move. Now, her outro skill, 530%. That is the disgustingly good scaling. The bad thing is, there's no real way to get it up. You can't like level to get it up. So I wouldn't really consider this one of the priority. This will just simply do a shit ton of damage for you. So I'd say for leveling, you go Forte Circuit, Resonance Liberation, Basic Attack, and then you can choose between Resonance Skill and Intro Skill. The good thing is, when she is in her Daka Daka, this is considered Resonance Skill damage. That's not like Basic Attack or anything. It's considered Resonance Skill damage. So obviously Tao Chi would be a good fit for her here, because it would buff the shit out of this for you. So you do a lot more damage. Now that we've finished that, let's get into her set. What set bonus should you use? Obviously, best one is going to be the fusion damage set. 10% fusion damage, and when you use your resonance skill, which you're going to be using regardless to build up ammo and to enter your Daka Daka state to do damage, you're going to be getting 30% more fusion. It's easily the best by far. Well, not by far actually. It's just the best set. Now, her second best set is going to be this one right here, Lingering Tunes. Now, this gives you 10% attack, and while on field, your attack increases by 5% every 1.5 seconds, up to 4 times. So 5 times 4, 20. Already know. Now, what's really good about this set is that it gives you 60% outro skill damage. That's extremely valuable, because as I showed y'all before, this bitch is hitting 530%. Add that shit and you gonna be clapping. Now that we finished that, there is no 44111 because she's a pyro character. So unfortunately, you will have to do 43111 or 43311. Now that isn't really a bad thing. It's just a little bit harder to farm. Now what I will tell you guys is you don't have to have both pieces fusion. These things are extremely hard to come by, so I won't even tell you to go out of your way to try and do this, try and do that. Fuck no, man. Get maybe one fusion, get an attack percent, you'll lose a tiny bit of damage. That shit won't matter. You probably won't even feel it. We ain't at the end game. All content should be easily clearable with just the most average builds. Now that we finished talking about that, let's get into her weapons. I'm only going to talk about her two best ones because everything else is like, Now her best ones obviously are going to be these. It's crazy that these are the best because you don't even take full advantage of the buff that this weapon gives. But what makes this weapon so much better is the base attack. It gives a lot. It gives 445, which is less than slot already. Then you get 20% crit rate where I have it right now. This obviously goes higher the more you level it up. And then gives me 13% energy recharge. Now what I said a little bit sad is that what it also says is that when outro skill is cast, increases the incoming resonator's attack by 10%, 14 seconds. This doesn't help her at all. You're just buffing somebody when getting off Chixia. And obviously, when you're getting off Chixia, you're probably going to be going to your support again to begin your rotation. So that damage buff is quite useless. Now that we finished the basics on Chixia, what she does, what her best echo sets are, her weapons. Oh shit, I didn't mention the second weapon, my bad. This one is going to be your second one right here. Gives you decent attack for dodging and everything. It's double attack roll. The problem is the base attack is pretty goddamn low and it's pretty disappointing. So even though it's her second best, it's like I think 18% worse. Now if you want to see exactly how much worse it is, I will leave a link to Pridewin. This is where I got some of the information for this video. Absolutely amazing site. I cannot recommend it enough. Go give Pridewin a peek if you want to see even more about Chixia. They break down some stuff I'm not going to be able to cover in this video, and it might help you guys a lot for other characters as well. Now that we've finished those, this is what my Chixia is currently looking like. I have 134 ER. I would say you need at least this much, if not more. Honestly, if I had 140 to 150, I'd be even happier, but that shit is like, it's a little bit hard to get. You're going to obviously want a good crit rate to good crit damage ratio. That's obviously going to be like very important. The reason why you need good ER and your recharge is that you're going to need to be able to get your ultimate back up. If you get your ultimate back up, the better it's going to feel. And the easier you can get your ultimate, the better it's going to feel for your rotations. Now, I wanted to talk about the second inherent skill. This one right here, numbingly spicy. Now, when you enter your thermobarbaric, when you start using your thermobarbaric bullets, in your Daka state, you will get 1% attack every one bullet you shoot, stacking 30 for 10 seconds. Now, this already is 30, good, but if you have C5 Chixia, this shit is 60. So you're gonna want to be using this in your rotation, and honestly, you're gonna be doing so unconsciously because it will just happen because you're gonna be shooting those bullets regardless to get to your boom boom to do a shit ton of damage. You're going to be doing that shit regardless, so it's just going to happen naturally without you worrying about it. Now, for your main echo, you can run Inferno Rider, but honestly, into the extremely hard content like the level 90, not Tassa Shields, oh my god, level 90 fucking bosses that you can fight, this is going to be pretty rough because he sits here for like 3 attacks, and those hologram bosses are no joke. They'll kill you during it. It's actually insane. So I don't really end up using this guy a lot into the super hard content, but for anything that's not like extremely hard, like hologram bosses, you're chilling. Absolutely run this echo and use it. Now that we're done with that, let's go take a look at the teams that I've prepared for you guys today. So this team focuses around buffing Chixia's ultimate. This team right here focuses around buffing her skill. This team right here buffs her ultimate and gives her off-field damage because Yinlin's absolutely cracked. And then this last team is if you don't have Verena, then you can run Havoc Rover right here and then use Jian Shin as your support and ult buffer at the same time. Havoc Rover is just here to do really decent burst damage, and then she's off the field. Now, I don't want to waste your time too much. So, without further ado, let's just take a look at Chixia. So, as you've seen, we have a full bar right now. I am at 70. You can see it right above my health bar. I'm at 70 bullets. Now, when I enter my Daka state, I will be spraying 30. You will see a line above that bar, and once you get to that line, that is a good way to tell when you're at max stacks from your numbingly spicy inherent skill, and that is when you want to click your shoot button again. Controller, it's X on PC, should be just a right click, right? PC, it's your right click. So yeah, just gonna want to tap that, and then she'll do the boom boom, and it will do a shitload of damage. So I'll just show you what it looks like. And just tap and hold her skill. She's just gonna spray, get to that little line, bam. And what that allows you to do is do a second set of this again, and then bam. So as long as you're at 70 bullets, you can do that twice. That is a lot of damage. Now, if you're using Tao Chi, you're gonna want to buff up with her before you get to that part right there. You're gonna need to be using her outro. In fact, all of these characters are gonna be buffing her through her outro. So, as you can see with Tao Chi right here, I'll just show y'all real quick. He buffs her outro skill, gives you resonant skill damage, deepen 38%. That's nuts. And obviously, when you're in your Daka state, that's considered resonant skill damage. So you can just put one and one together, buff what's doing the most damage. Now for this other team, this Jianshin team, you're gonna wanna get her outro as well. So I build Jianshin in this team as a complete just support. It's like basically she's just here to just help my Chixia do more damage. So that being said, right here, Moonlit Cloud set. There's no better support set for her than this one right here. This shit is amazing. It gives you 22% attack when you hop off her to Chixia. And if you use the bird, that's another 12. Now, the Yinlin team functions a bit differently because you want to do different stuff with Yinlin. I will just explain it really quickly, but if you guys want to see me like make a separate video where I go a little bit more in and I talk about these teams and I can explain it, I guess, a little bit more thoroughly, then I can. But for Yinlin, I guess the short way to explain it to you is that you'd want to go on Yinlin, get her outro, make sure you sit on the chair before you leave, which is her little bar. Her Forte skill, you want to make sure you get that up so she can do off-field damage, and then she will also give your Chixia a 20% liberation buff. Now I will do the rotation once for you guys with this team right here, just so you can take a look at what it looks like, and it won't even be that bad. I will say these rotations are extremely easy. I promise you they're not hard. As long as you do them once, you can pretty much do them again. So I will explain to you exactly what you want to do right now. If you don't know what Verena does, you're probably gonna have to find another video on that because this character is just cracked. This isn't really a video to explain how good Verena is. I will explain the rotation, what Verena does and what Jianshin does, how it works, but I won't like deep dive into them and explain their whole kit or whatever. That's not what this video is about. If you want me to make another video explaining how Verena is cracked, then I can do that as well. Just let me know in the comments if y'all want to see something similar to that. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So with Verena, to get this rotation off, what you want to do is get all the damage buffs from Verena. The Verena damage buffs through her healing for the healing set, her outro skill, and the bell. So you want to heal, pop the turtle bell, which is your echo, and then you want to make sure her outro is up before you leave. Now you want to leave immediately, go on Jianshin, and you want to make sure her outro is up. Once her outro gets up, you want to use the bird, get off Jianshin, and then hop to Chixia. Now, if you have Numbingly Spicy, which is her second inherent skill, I'll just show you one more time so that you guys don't get mixed up. If you have this, you're going to need to shoot 30 bullets before you use your ultimate. If you do not, you can immediately tap your ultimate. You're fine. But since I have Numbingly Spicy, I will show the other rotation where you need to shoot 30 bullets because it gives you a 30% attack buff, and if you have C5, it's a 60% attack buff. That is a shitload of damage that you cannot be missing out on. Alright, so we'll just test it on a level 60 monkey right here. So first, you're gonna go on Verena. You're gonna use your bell. You're gonna get any sort of healing, like right there. You see me heal, so we activate Erica set. Go on Jianshin. Now you just need to be on her. I'll wait for the counter right here, so I can show you guys. Now she has her outro. So what you're gonna do? I'll get this counter first. Hit the counter. You want a bird? Go to Chixia, and if you, since you have her second thing, you're gonna need to get 30 bullets. Shoot your 30 bullets, and then ulti. And look at that shit. That was a 25,000 non-crit with that last shot. Now I have like 76% crit rate. That was a little bit unfortunate. But if I did crit, that should be like 50k. And you seen like all the 3ks in between. And it's really just that simple. Obviously, after that, you'd want to shoot the rest of your bullets, do your outro. But I mean, all you really need to do is just get to that big damage. You just finish spraying the rest of your bullets. You just shoot the monkey a little bit more. And you're done. You get off her for her outro, do a shitload of damage. And that is it. It's really that simple. Now, these other teams essentially function the same. With Tao Chi, you just want to shoot a lot more because she buffs your resonant skill damage instead of your ultimate. So you do your ultimate and everything, just keep shooting to make sure you keep your Tao Chi buff, or use your Tao Chi buff. With Yinlin, she gives a 20% liberation damage, but what makes her so good is that she gives you off field damage. Like she'll do like 2Ks on crits for where my Yinlin's at right now, and she's pretty garbage. And she's still gonna be like doing 2Ks off crit. Yinlin is a nuts character. You could perfectly run her here, even though you don't take advantage of the electro damage bonus. And then in this team is if you don't have Arena, you can use Jian Shin as like your supportive character. If you have Jian Shin, you could use her just to buff Chixia if you don't have Jian Shin. Or you could just put Tao Chi. The thing a lot of people don't know is that the healing set works on Tao Chi, so you can give her the heal set and just pop her a skill. I'll show you real quick what I mean. Because when Tao Chi uses her skill, right there, that heals. That counts as healing the team, so you still get the healing set bonus out of it. So you can get all the benefits of the bell and the healing for the extra damage. All Rover does in this team is that she's just here to ult. Get on her, do her wing slap, ult, maybe do her Q one more time, and you're gone. You're done with Rover. Back to Tao Chi, get her per outro, and then you just buff Chixia's pistols. And that is it. Again, this is my guide on Chixia. This is how I've been playing her. It feels amazing. She's a really goddamn good character. If you guys want to see me like go into like these teams a little bit more in another video, like all of them one by one, I'll just showcase all of them. Let me know. I don't mind doing that at all. I'll just like do a different video for it. Problem is this one's dragging on a bit much. It's up to like maybe like 19 something minutes or some shit we're pushing. Probably like 18 minutes, so yeah. It's pushing a little bit, so it's gonna be a little bit too much. Now, that's gonna be all for the day. This has been my guide on Chixia. This is how I've been playing her, and she has been an absolute pleasure to use. I'm gonna leave y'all with that. I'll have a wonderful day. Peace out. I'll catch y'all.